Hey y'all, it's Southern Woods here. Welcome back to another brand tournament. Alright, it is spooky season. Happy spooky season. Happy early Halloween. I know we're all excited. I got Pumpy back this season. Are you excited to be
Oh
back?
yeah.
Yes, sir. Alright, last year we did the candy bar brand tournament. It was a good time. This year we're doing candy. Alright, more of the traditional candy type, the like the Skittles and Airheads of the world. So no candy bars this time and no traditional chocolate. There may be a couple that have chocolate with them, kinda, like Whoppers and Milk Duds, but that's it. All right, more traditional candy this year. We got the Magical Bowl with 10 categories this time. If you don't know how this works, just follow along for a few minutes and you'll get it. All right, each brand will go head to head. All right, first to 3 points, so best out of 5 will move on to the Big 16. All right, there's 32 seeds. Let's get this going, shall we? Woo! All right, the first matchup we have in this candy tournament for spooky season is the #1 seed, Skittles, against the 32nd seed, last seed, Candy Corn. All right, it couldn't be a candy Halloween tournament thing without candy corn. All right, the most generic, shit ever. And there's not like specific revenue streams that made it easy to seed these brands, so I kind of did it based more on popularity and sales that I could find, because a lot of these brands are owned by the same company, so it's hard to find specific revenue for them. Anyways, let's get this started. Woo! First category we're going to draw is category 4. And ladies and gentlemen, category 4 is going to be, all right, their rating. Customer rating of these candy brands. Skittles has a average 4.7 out of 5-star rating. Meanwhile, Candy Corn has a 3.5. So one of the worst on here. Skittles is going to get the first point here, going up 1-0. Next up, we have category 10, the last category, and that's going to be total song references that I could find here, and I'll also mention some of the notable artists. For example, Skittles is referenced by R. Kelly and Beyonce in a total of 107 songs. Meanwhile, Candy Corn, Foxy Brain is the most notable artist I could find, but surprisingly, a little bit more, 150 total songs referencing Candy Corn, so they're going to tie it up 1-1. Next up, we have like. Hit me with that like button if you've liked these series over the years, and if you want to see more, and if you're happy for spooky season and Halloween. But for real, we have subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of these tournaments, and I'll shut up about that, but the subscribe button is just right there. All right, for real this time, we got category 8 next. Category 8 is going to be slogan. Best candy slogan will win. This is my personal preference here. Skittles is Taste the Rainbow. All right, they've had this for a while. Not too bad, all right, because Skittles are colors of the rainbow. Meanwhile, Candy Corn is something worth crowing for. Something worth crowing for. Definitely an older slogan. I get it. I kind of like it, but I'm honestly going with Taste the Rainbow. It's just a little bit more iconic, a little bit more nostalgic for me. So, Skittles goes up 2-1. Next category we're drawing is category 2. Category 2 is going to be price, average price for like an individual pack, or, not like the mini stuff, not individually wrapped candies, and not like the family size, but just your basic one that you'd buy at the gas station. Average price, cheaper wins. For Skittles, $1.50 to get you a pack of Skittles. For candy corn, it's about $4. All right, they tend to come in a little bit bigger bags. They're seasonal. They can be a little bit more expensive, I guess. I always thought candy corn was cheaper than that, but doing my research, that's what I found, right? So Skittles pretty easily goes up 3-1, beating Candy Corn, moving on to the Big 16. Candy Corn, I had to put you in here, but no, everyone knows you weren't going to fucking win. So, Candy Corn, you are out of here. All right, time for the second matchup. We have the 17th seed, Laffy Taffy, and the 16th seed Swedish Fish. First category we have is 6. Category 6 is going to be total amount of flavors. The more flavors, the better. All right, and I'm disregarding seasonal or limited time flavors that aren't always there. So for Laffy Taffy, they have, where'd Laffy Taffy go? About 10 different flavors. Swedish Fish, about 10 different flavors. So we have a tie, we're re-rolling. Next up, we have category 9. My 9s have lines. I know I do it wrong, and that's probably the spookiest thing about this video is my number 9. So category 9 is going to be product placement. How many times are these candy brands placed in TV shows and movies? For Laffy Taffy, that's a total of 11 times. For Swedish Fish, 72. So Swedish Fish gets the first point here in this matchup. All right, next up, we have category 3. Category 3 is going to be my personal preference. All right, which one do I like better? That's the one that's going to win. I like Laffy Taffy a little bit better, despite how difficult it is to open a fucking Laffy Taffy.
They're hard as fuck to open.
Yeah, Pumpy gets it, and yeah, you don't even have fucking arms, dude. Of course it's difficult. You don't know how to open nothing. Swedish Fish, they get boring to me sometimes, and I feel like some packs are good while other packs just aren't as good. So, Laffy Taffy get them tied up 1-1. Next up, we got category 7. All right, we're getting a good variety this time around. Category 7 is going to be established date. What happened to my established date numbers? Where'd they go? Okay, there they are. I was like, where did it all go? That was spooky. Laffy Taffy was established in 1975. Meanwhile, Swedish Fish, almost 20 years earlier, 1957. So Swedish Fish gonna go up 2-1. Next up, we have category 1. All right, this is gonna be the seeding. The more popular, the more revenue bringing. Although I don't have specific numbers. I have Swedish Fish ranked 1 seed higher than Laffy Taffy, so they're gonna win this matchup 3-1. Moving on to the big Sweetle 16 and Laffy Taffy. Not so funny for you. You are out of here. All right, next matchup we have is the 9th seed Nerds against the 24th seed Pez. First up is category 4. Category 4 is the rating, once again, between Nerds and Pez. Nerds has a 4.6 out of 5-star rating on average. Meanwhile, Pez, real shocking 4.8, I think, tied for the best in this tournament. So Pez going up 1-0 against Nerds.
You're a nerd!
You're a fucking nerd. Shut up. Category 10 is the songs. So for Nerds, hard to find a specific song referencing Nerds because unless they say Nerds Candy, it's assumed nerd. Yeah, nerd. Pez, however, couldn't find any songs referencing Pez either. So we get a reroll here. Next up, we have category 2. Category 2 is price. For Nerds, a pack of Nerds will cost you about $1.50 on average. Meanwhile, for Pez, $2.75, a little pricier for sure. So Nerds going to tie it up 1-1. Next up, we have category 5. Category 5 is going to be logo preference. So I think we've officially hit on all the categories already, which is good. So, which logo is better, Nerds or Pez? Pez is kind of retro. All right, kind of reminds me of like the GameCube for some reason. Not too bad. The color scheme is a little bit lacking in my opinion. Nerds a lot more colorful. It's not amazing either, but I'm definitely gravitated towards it a little bit more. So I'm going with Nerds here. They go up 2-1. All right. Next up, we have category 7. Category 7 is going to be the established date once again. Nerds were established in 1983. Meanwhile, Pez was established all the way back in 1927, almost 100 years ago now. So Pez ties it up 2-2. Next up, we have stuck together category 9, which is going to be the product placements. All right, so this will probably determine who wins. Pez is in 2 total movies/TV shows. Meanwhile, Nerds is in 18. So Nerds kind of comes back here and wins 3-2 in a close matchup. Moving on to the Big 16. Pez, you are out of here. The next matchup that we have is the 25th seed. Wow, that was scary. 25th seed Warheads against the 8th seed Airheads. A couple of head-to-head heads. All right, let's see who gets the first points in this matchup. And the first category is category 8, which is going to be that slogan preference. All right, so better slogan will win. For Airheads, it's play more, play delicious. Don't like that. I'm going to be honest. Play more, play delicious. Nope, don't like it. I can't even say it. Meanwhile, Warheads is dare to be sour. All right. Very sour candy. All right. Kind of has an edgy vibe to it. All right. Dare to be sour. I like that a little bit more. So, Warheads going to get the first point over Airheads. All right. Next up, we have category 6. Category 6 is going to be total amount of flavors between the two. Airheads has around 10 flavors that stay the whole time. Meanwhile, looking at Warheads, about the same, 10 different flavors, which 10 to 15 seems to be the standards for most candy. So we're going to re-roll. Category 1, all right, what they're seated upon. Airheads, far more popular, bringing far more revenue. They tied up 1-1. Next up, we have category 3. Category 3 is going to be my preference here. You won't see me constantly eating Warheads. I enjoy them every once in a while, but Airheads are one of my, if not my favorite candy. So Airheads are going to get the point here, going up 2-1. Next up, we got category 9, going back to the product placements here. Airheads are in 28 different movies and shows. Meanwhile, Warheads are in only 5. So Airheads are going to get a convincing win here, 3-1, moving on to the Big 16. Meanwhile, Warheads, you lost the war. You are out of here. All right, next matchup, we have the 5th seed, Jolly Ranchers, against the 28th seed, Now and Laters. And the first category we got is category 4, which is going to be that rating. Jolly Ranchers has a 4.5 out of 5-star average. Not too bad. Now and Later, same thing though, 4.5 out of 5-star. So we will re-roll. And next up will be category 2. Category 2 being the price per bag of candy. For Now and Laters, it'll cost you a couple bucks, $2 to be exact. Meanwhile, Jolly Ranchers, a bag of them, on average, $4. So a little bit pricier. Now and Later, going to go up 1-0. Next up, we have category 10, going to the music. Jolly Ranchers, referenced by Beyonce and Project Pat in a total of 33 songs that I could find. Meanwhile, Now and Later, couldn't find a specific song referencing them. So, Jolly Ranchers ties it up 1-1. Next up, we have category 5. Category 5 is going to be my logo preference here. So, looking at these two logos, Jolly Rancher, it's decent. Color scheme is decent. I don't care for the font too much. Going on to Now and Later, where is that guy? Oh yeah, Now and Later, it kind of has like a 90s feel to it. It kind of reminds me of a lot of commercials and advertisements and how things looked growing up in the early 2000s as well. I like it a little bit better, so I'm going for Now and Later here. So they go up 2-1. This would be a big upset. A scary one. Next up, we have category 7. Category 7, once again, the established date for Jolly Ranchers, they were established in 1949, quite a while ago. Meanwhile, now and later, 1962. So Jolly Ranchers ties it up 2-2. We got to roll again. Category 9 is going to be product placement, and this one tends to end the matchups a lot. Now and later, 11 different movies and TV shows. Meanwhile, for Jolly Ranchers, 10. One less. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. So, one less movie had Jolly Ranchers in the scenes. So, Jolly Ranchers is going to lose a close one, getting kicked out of this tournament, and now and later moves on to the Big 16. Pretty big upset. Next matchup we have is the 21st seed Ring Pop against the 12th seed Tootsie Rolls. And the first category we're pulling is category 8, which is going to be the slogans here. All right, so for Tootsie Roll, they don't have a slogan that I could find, surprisingly. Meanwhile, for Ring Pop, their slogan is a lollipop without a stick, a ring of flavor you can lick. Wow. I bet someone won the third grade poetry contest with that one. It's honestly not terrible. I probably wouldn't choose it against some other matchups, but by default, Ring Pop gets away with one here. They go up 1-0. Next category is the first category, which is what they're seated upon. Tootsie Rolls, good bit more popular. They're going to tie it up 1-1. All right, next up we have category 6. Category 6 is going to be total amount of flavors between the two. Tootsie Roll has about 10, and Ring Pop has about 10. So once again, tying it up, re-rolling. No one's won this category yet. We have category 3 next, which is going to be my personal preference. When I was a kid, I used to love Ring Pops, and I used to love Tootsie Rolls. I don't get a Ring Pop that often. I don't know. I like Tootsie Rolls a little bit better. I don't like the original ones, but I like the different, like the orange one, the lemon one. Those I dig a good bit. So I'm going to go with Tootsie Rolls here. They go up 2-1. Next category we have is category 9. Once again, the product placements. For Ring Pop, they're in a total of 63 movies and TV shows. A little bit more than I was expecting. Meanwhile, Tootsie Roll, 32. So about half is less. Ring Pop ties it up 2-2. And the next category we have is category 7. And category 7 is going to be that established date. Tootsie Roll established in 1896. All right, well over 100 years ago now. Meanwhile, Ring Pops, I can almost bet they were not. 1979, all right, fairly recent in comparison. Tootsie Roll gets away with a close win, moving on to the big Sweet 16, whatever you want to call it. I have to, like, throw the sweet in there, even though it's trademarked, just a little bit. Ring Pop, you are out of here. All right. Next matchup we have is 13th seed Mike and Ike's against the 20th seed Sweetarts. And the first category we have is category 4. Category 4 being that customer rating between the two. For Mike and Ike, they have a 4.7 out of 5-star rating. Pretty good. Sweetarts, 4.5, so a little bit less. Mike and Ike's goes up 1-0. All right, next up we have category 2. Category 2 going to be the price here per bag of candy for Sweetarts, $3.75 on average. For Mike and Ike's, $1.30. So they're a good bit cheaper. They're going up 2-0. Will this be our first sweet sweep? We'll see. Category 10 is next. All right, going to the music industry. All right, Henry Castro and 12 other artists have referenced Sweetarts. Meanwhile, for Mike and Ike, 21 total songs, most notably by Hobson and Gunna. So a little bit more here, and we are going to get our first sweep. 3-0. Mike and Ike's goes to the Big 16. Meanwhile, Sweetarts Wasn't so sweet for you. You are out of here. All right. Next matchup, we have the 29th seed Juicy Drop Pop against the 4th seed Lifesavers. Category 7 is what we're going to start off with. We're going to start off with that established date. All right, for Lifesavers, they were established in 1912, over 100 years ago. Meanwhile, for Juicy Drop, they were established fairly recently. And for some reason, I couldn't find an exact date. I put not applicable for them, but you know damn well it's not as old as Lifesavers. All right, people been sucking on them Lifesavers. All right, your great-grandpappy was. So they go up 1-0. Next up, we have Category 9. Category 9 going to be the product placement here for Lifesavers. 36 different movies and TV shows. Meanwhile, for Juicy Drop Pop, one that I could find. One singular, I think it was a TV show. So Lifesavers goes up quickly, 2-0, threatening to give us our second sweep. Next up, we have Category 3, my personal preference. Every once in a while, those Juicy Drop Pops are pretty nice, but they're more of a mess and more complex than I like. All right, with my candy. Lifesavers, I like the chewy kind. I don't fuck with the hard kind that much. So I'm going to go with Lifesavers here. So they will sweep Juicy Drop Pop 3-0. Moving on to the Big 16. Juicy Drop Pop, you are out of here. Lifesavers gives us our second sweep in a row. All right, we are about halfway through this first round. All right, if you're still here, thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you will enjoy the rest of the video. Next matchup, we have the 3rd overall seed Sour Patch Kids against the 30th, third to last seed Dums. All right, Lollipop. First up, we have Category 4. Category 4 going to be that customer rating here. Dums 4.7 out of 5-star average rating. Pretty good for them. Meanwhile, Sour Patch Kid, the same, 4.7 out of 5-star. All right, Category 2 is going to be the price here. Pack of Sour Patch Kids will run you about $1.40. Meanwhile, a pack of Dums, all right, they tend to be a lot larger, all right, about $4. And I said no individual ones, so I couldn't, I mean, that would be like, what, 5 cents. So, via that little discretion, Sour Patch Kids gets the first point here.
I know it, dum-dum. I'm looking right at him.
Pumpy, man, he really likes them insults. Little does he know, look at that face. He's the true dum-dum here. Although I'm pretty dumb myself. All right, Category 10, next up, is going to be the music industry here for Dums. Couldn't find any super notable songs, just a couple, not by notable artists. Meanwhile, for Sour Patch Kids, 13 songs, most notably by Linkin Park. All right, so Sour Patch Kids goes up 2-0. Next up, we have Category, this is a 5, believe it or not. Category 5 is going to be the logo preference here between the two. Sour Patch Kids, they have a pretty good logo. I like the color scheme. All right, I like the detail to it. It's pretty good. Meanwhile, Dums, pretty basic, pretty boring. I don't like it that much. So, Sour Patch Kids gets an easy, sweet sweep, giving us our 3rd sweep in a row, winning 3-0, moving on to the Big 16. Dum, you were dumb, and you're out of here. All right, no points for you. Next matchup we have is the 19th seed Fun Dip against the 14th seed Sour Punch. All right, Sour Punch twisty thingies, or whatever. All right, first category is Category 4. All right, the ratings here between the two. Sour Punch, 4.7 out of 5-star average. Meanwhile, for who's the other one? Fun Dip, we have a 4.5 out of 5-star. So, Sour Punch gets the first punch here, going up 1-0. Category 2 is what's next, which we are going to the price per bag. Fun Dip, $1.30, not too bad. Meanwhile, Sour Punch will run you up $2. So Fun Dip a little cheaper. They tied up 1-1. Next up, we have category 10, going to the music industry here. I couldn't find any songs that really represent or reference Sour Punch or Fun Dip, so we're going to re-roll. And next up, we have category 5. Category 5 being the logo, once again, between the two. Fun Dip, I don't like it. The color scheme's kind of nice, but it's just kind of boring to me, all right, altogether. Meanwhile, for Sour Punch, there's a little bit more detail to it. I like the lightning bolts. I don't love it either, but I like it a little bit more, I think. So Sour Punch going to go up 2-0. They get another jab. Category 8. We'll see if Sour Punch can get the uppercut for the win. We have slogan for Fun Dip. It's so much fun. We bet you can't dip just one. So much fun. We bet you can't dip just one. Okay. That's fine. Sour Punch, embrace your punch. Bam! I like that. Embrace your punch. I like that. They're going to get the knockout punch here. They're going up 3-1. They're winning. They're moving on to the Big 16. Fun Dip, that wasn't so fun for you. You are out of here. All right. Next up. Yeah, I got him. Yeah, you don't got no arms. You keep forgetting about that. All right. Fucking Pumpy trying to punch me. I punched him. Now he's looking like a dummy. Ooh. Now that may be the spookiest thing of this video. Me and my bars. All right, next matchup, we have the 11th seed Jelly Belly, all right, the Jelly Beans, against the 22nd seed Smarties. You got something to say about that one? Yeah, we'll see. He's going to throw it out here eventually, probably. See, all right. Oh, Alex is not a Smartie. See, I already took it from you. Or, I don't know what else he could come up with that one, but it's Pumpy. All right, Category 7 is what we are starting out with. Category 7 is going to be the established date between the two. Let's look at Jelly Belly first, 1976. All right, meanwhile, for Smarties, 1949, a little bit older, and Smarties going to get the first point here. All right, next up, we have Category 9. Category 9, now going to the product placement. 5 total movies and TV shows for Jelly Belly. Meanwhile, 8 for Smarties. So a few bit more. Smarties goes up 2-0. And next up, we have Category 3. Category 3 being my personal preference. You know, in elementary school, middle school, you'd always have those kids crushing up and smoking or snorting the Smarties. And, you know, teachers give you a Smartie if you were smart. And I guess I just wasn't that smart because I didn't get a lot of them.
Dumbass.
See, there you go. I'm fueling the ammo for you. You don't even have to roast me today. I don't even like Smarties. I don't think they're that good. They kind of fucking suck. Jelly Belly, it's kind of fun. I like jelly beans. Okay, you know, I don't love them, but and then the game they have, the bamboozled thing, that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go with Jelly Belly here. They're not gonna get swept. We're not gonna get our 4th sweep in a row. Not on my watch. Although, I don't think we had a sweep last time. Anyways, Category 6 is the next one we're going to pull here. And Category 6 is going to be total amount of flavors. Well, Jelly Belly has the most in this tournament with over 50. All right. Meanwhile, Smarties has around 10. So, Jelly Belly going to tie it up 2-2. Good contentious matchup. And the next one we have, number 1 seed, or number 1 category, which is based on seeding. Jelly Belly. More popular, more revenue than Smarties, about 10 seeds higher. Jelly Belly is going to win, going to the Big 16. Meanwhile, Smarties, you are out of here. All right, next matchup, we have the 27th seed Milk Duds against the 6th seed Haribo. All right, and I know Haribo is a bigger brand altogether, so for some of the categories, I'm specifically going for the Haribo gummy bears, right? So, first category we are going to pull here is Category 4. Category 4 being the customer rating between the two, between Haribo and Milk Duds. For Haribo, 4.6 out of 5 star. Pretty good. For Milk Duds, 4.5, 0.1 less. Not going to get them the point. It goes to Haribo first. All right. Next up, we have Category 2. Category 2 being the price per bag. For Milk Duds, $1.75. Pretty good. Meanwhile, for Haribo, $2.75, so a little bit more expensive. Milk Duds gets a point timed at 1-1. All right, next up we have Category 10 going to the music industry. For Haribo, they're in 24 songs, most notably by the artist LX. All right, meanwhile for Milk Duds, they're in 12 songs, most notably by John's Basement. So Haribo gets the point here, going up 2-1. Next up, we have Category 5. Category 5 is going to be that logo preference between the two. Haribo, pretty simple. It has a little mascot there. It's not too bad. Meanwhile, Milk Duds, black and white and boring. Don't like that. Haribo is going to get the point here, winning fairly convincingly 3-1. Moving on to the big old sweet old 16. Milk Duds, this was a dud for you. You are out of here. All right, stay with me, y'all. We have 4 more matchups before the end of this first round. All right, eat some candy, get you a sugar high so you can stay awake through it all. Next matchup, we have the 7th seed Twizzlers against the 26th seed Whoppers. All right, first category is going to be 7 here, and that is going to be the established date. For Whoppers, 1949. Meanwhile, for Twizzlers, 1929. All right, getting close to 100 years ago, Twizzlers gets the first point. Next up, we have category 9. Category 9, going to the product placement here. 67 movies and TV shows for Twizzlers. Meanwhile, for Whoppers, 36, quite a bit less. Twizzlers goes up 2-0. All right, next up, we have Category 6. Category 6 is going to be the total amount of flavors. For Whoppers, they only have Whoppers. All right, there's only one flavor. Meanwhile, for Twizzlers, there's about 15 different flavors, believe it or not. There's a lot more than just the original. So Twizzlers, with a sweet sweep, 3-0. Moving on to the Big 16 Whoppers. You just got fucking whopped. You are out of here. You know what else is kind of spooky? The amount of times people are coming in and out of my garage. All right. Ooh, back and forth. Who could it be? Is Declan and my mother really coming in and out that much? I don't know. Anyways, third to last matchup here. We have the 23rd seed Red Vines, Twizzlers' less attractive cousin. See, there it is again. What are they doing? What are they doing? All right, against the 10th seed Lemonheads. Bet you didn't know Lemonheads would be seeded that high. I sure didn't. Category 4 is what we're starting out with, which is going to be the ratings here. Lemonheads, 4.7 out of 5. Pretty good rating for them. Meanwhile, for Red Vines, 4.4 out of 5. Kind of on the lower end compared to others in this tournament. Lemonheads goes up 1-0 to start off. All right, next up we have Category 2. Category 2, going to be the price per bag of candy here. For Lemonheads, all right, one of the cheapest, 90 cents on average. When you're averaging less than $1, you are doing something right. Meanwhile, for Red Vines, $3.50. Quite a bit more expensive. Lemonheads goes up 2-0, threatening to give us possibly our 5th sweet sweep of the day. Category 10 is what next. We're going to the music industry for this. For Red Vines, they're in 114 total songs, most notably by Beth Hart and Louis Armstrong. So actually, that may be the most in this tournament, surprisingly. And Lemonheads is in 23 songs, most notably by Lecrae and Sonic Youth. But Red Vines will not get swept. They get a point. Next up, we have Category 5. Category 5 is going to be the logo preference between these two. Between Red Vines and Lemonheads. Lemonheads, I kind of dig, all right? It's polished. It's a bright, vibrant color scheme. It has that little feller on there, their little mascot. Let's go to Red Vines, though, see what they're all about. I kind of like Red Vines, to be honest. I thought I'd hate it more. It is kind of boring, but not too bad. But I'm going with Lemonheads here. Lemonheads just better. So Lemonheads do win 3-1, knocking out Red Vines. All right, Red Vines, I don't think many people are voting for Red Vines altogether, and they are out of here. Lemonheads, see you in the Big 16. Second to last matchup, we have the 15th seed Trolli. All right, more specifically, the Trolli Sour Crawlers, all right, against the 18th seed Pop Rocks. First category we have is 7. Category 7 is established date. All right, established date for Pop Rocks is 1961. Established date for the Trolli is 1981. So Pop Rocks, 20 years older. They go up 1-0. All right, next up we have category 6. Category 6 is the total amount of flavors here. Pop Rocks, about 10 different flavors. Meanwhile, for the Trolli Sour Crawlers, about 10 different flavors. We will re-roll. All right, next up, we have category 9, going to the movie industry. Pop Rocks in 10 different movies and TV shows. Meanwhile, for Trolli, 23, a little bit more. They tied up 1-1. Next up, we have category 3. Category 3, my personal preference. I love me some of those sour gummy worms, man. Those are pretty solid. Pop Rocks, it's a novelty thing. Like, I'll crave a Pop Rock like once every 2 years, all right? And just feel it crackle, have the experience. That's kind of cool, and I'm good for another couple years. So, Trolli going to go up 2-1 in this as well. Next up, we have category 1. All right, they're seeding pretty close, all right, and estimated revenue and popularity, but Trolli a little bit more. They win 3-1. Pop Rocks, you are out of here. Meanwhile, Trolli Sour, Bright Crawlers, whatever the fuck the long specific name is, we will see you in the Big 16. All right, last matchup, all right, before this first round is over with, we have the second to last seed Blowpop, all right, the other lollipop brand in this tournament, against the second overall seed Starburst. All right, in the first category we are going to draw is 3. My personal preference, Starburst, one of my favorites. I do like a Blowpop every once in a while, but Starburst is going to get the point here. Next category we have, one actually flew. And the one that flew is category 4, which is going to be what the customers overall think. What do they think about Blowpops? They think 4.5 out of 5 star on average. Meanwhile, for Starburst, 4.7 out of 5 star. Starburst goes up 2-0. All right, now we have category 2. Category 2 is going to be the price per bag. For Starburst, $1.25. All right, for the packs, long packs of Starburst. For Blowpops, $3.50. Quite a bit more. So Starburst getting us a sweet sweep to end this first round. Moving on to the Big 16. Blowpop, you are out of here. So that was the first round of this candy tournament. All right, starting off Halloween season good, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hit me with that like button if you did. Once again, if you're excited for round 2, all right, the big old Sweet 16, maybe hit that subscribe button too. Without further ado, I will see y'all in the next one. Some Cinderella stories to look forward to is the 28th seed Now and Later has survived, and the next biggest thing is the 16th seed Middle of the Road Swedish Fish. So we don't have a lot of Cinderella stories moving on. So for those who like underdogs, Now and Later may be the one you vote for. Anyway, see you on the next one. Have a good spooky season. Southern Woods out.
Southern Woods out.